Hey, good morning, YouTube. I haven't made a video in quite some time. I think it was a plowing video was last. But here we are, middle of May, and I'm finally getting the boat in. This is late for me, about a month late. Maybe even a little bit longer. But I had to do some fiberglass work on the inside. My bow is cored, or was cored, with balsa coring, and 2 years ago I cut out the bow from underneath and scraped out all the coring and laid in new Nitacore, which is a honeycomb material, and then I glassed over that. The problem I was having is the deck still seemed a little bit springy to me. I've never done glass before, but it seemed a little springy to me, and I quickly realized I didn't put enough on there. So this year I went down in there and I sanded it all down, and I started laying up more glass, and I laid up a layer of matte and a lot of resin, and then once that was pretty much cured, not cured, but less than 24 hours, I went back at it and put a layer of woven over that and really wet that out with resin. So it is nice and thick now and hard as a rock. So once I get it in the water, get it back to the slip, I'll show you what's going on. And then we have to put in lighting and a headliner. So we'll go along with that. I didn't film any of that the glass work, because it's so dusty. I didn't want to bring the camera down there because I just assumed they'd get wrecked. So I didn't even bother filming it. But I'll show it to you when we get in the water. The truck should be here in any minute, and we'll get going. So I'll be back. Well, here comes Jimmy backing in. He's done that before. Morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, so that's it. He just grabs this handle up here, and the tongue lowers hydraulically, picks it up off the ground, and then we pull the two jack stands. Makes it nice and easy. I just fill in airbags, the rear suspension.
Yeah, they both sell.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Good? All right, let's go stick it in the water. All right, we're here. We're at the ramp. Sorry for the wind. It said light and variable winds today, but it's blowing a little harder than that. You gotta check the props as he goes over that little ditch. Another year I didn't do the boot stripe. He usually puts me in with the dually, but I think the dually's out of service today. Back end's floating.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay, we're warmed up enough and I'm floating off the back, so Little reverse action. Throttle up. And there she goes. Right. All right, it's back in the slip. Ready to go. Another summer. Now I got to come back down here when the water gets hooked up and really clean this thing because it's got a lot of muddy foot tracks on it and stuff. But we're in. We're ready to go. All right, here we are next day. Figured I'd show you what I was talking about with the fiberglass on the boat. And I couldn't bring the camera in. The boat's an absolute disaster right now. It's just, I haven't cleaned it. From the rubber rail down got buffed and waxed, but from up it's still just grimy and gross. Dirty footprints all over the inside and everything. But I came down today to maybe clean this. But most likely I'm gonna do some work on the generator. Yeah, see the floor's all nasty, but I don't know, it should clean up pretty well. But here's what I was dealing with down here. I still have a water leak. And the problem that I'm having is the reason why this got so bad in the first place. I had to redo all this fiberglass, the whole ceiling. What I ended up doing is the glass, you know, from the outer part. Okay, let's see if I can explain this. Where the boat curves down to the rub rail, this area right here, it's all glass. It came up to like this flange here and then dropped down and then came across, and all inside here was balsa coring, and it was soaking wet. And the reason why, you see that little drip right there and right there and right there and there, my windshield where it screws into the upper deck, rain comes down those screw holes and traveled through all the balsa coring through the whole hull, the whole top deck. So what I had to do, and I thought I put a video up on it, I think it was one of my update videos where I showed, you know, what was in here. Basically I cut the bottom layer of glass out, dropped it down, and in here was an inch or 2, inch and a half, someplace 2 inches of balsa wood coring, and it was like the consistency of mashed potatoes. It was just disgusting, wet, gross. When I bought the boat, I bought it in February, so it was frozen solid up here. So when I walked on the deck, it you know, was hard as a rock. It didn't really feel any weird to me at all. But when I got the boat home and it thawed out after a couple of months, I saw what the issue was. So that's what I did. I put in, this is a step down from up on deck where a sun pad goes, so that's why this is got that contour here. But underneath this is a layer of woven, and then above that is a layer of matte. Above that is another layer of woven, another layer of matte, and then a product called Nitacor, which is a 3/4 inch thick plastic honeycomb material with matte on the top and bottom side of it. And then above that is another layer of matte that I wetted out on the bottom half, or the bottom section of the upper deck. So yeah, so I came down here, I cleaned it all out, I ground down the bottom of the part you stand on, so it was nice and, you know, had a good tooth to it, nice and clean. And then I wet it out with resin and laid a layer of matte, and then I just laid up all that stuff. So last year I stopped at the second layer, or the first layer of woven. So this year I came back and I did another layer of matte, another layer of woven, and now it's hard as a rock. So what we're gonna do now is, the way this boat was set up, you see this piece of plywood right here? This is the old headliner. The old headliner is you know, stapled to it. It's stretched across like this. There was another strip of plywood that went down the center here. Okay, the headliner comes across and staples to it, and then there's this little decorative piece of trim this little decorative piece of trim here. That goes down the center and it hides all the staples and everything. And then also there's another strip of plywood that goes here, and then inside that are all the lights. So you put that up, you put this up, you stretch it across, and then you push the vinyl up against where your light fixture goes, cut a hole in it, and then the light fixture pops in that hole, and that's pretty much how it works. So that's what we're going to get to here in the next week or so. I might actually paint this first too, because the off-gassing is still pretty bad down here. It still smells like resin pretty good, but it's actually 100 times better than it was 2 days ago. But I'm pretty happy with the repair. It came out nice. It's hard as a rock, and now I am safe to say there's no more wood on this boat, which is fantastic. So I guess our next deal we're going to get into is working on the generator, but that's going to be a separate video. So I just wanted to say everybody, thanks for watching. And sorry I've been gone for a while, but it's just been busy. Spring has been ridiculous, doing cleanups and cutting and stuff, and it's been crazy. So until next time, please rate, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.